us as the fourth meeting of the India-Egypt Joint Working Group on the Counter Terrorism was held in Cairo. The two delegations were led by the Ambassador K.D. Dewal, Joint Secretary, Counter Terrorism, Ministry of External Affairs of India, and Ambassador Walid Al-Fiqi, Director of the Department of the Counter Terrorism and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Egypt, and included the representatives of various agencies from both the countries. India and Egypt strongly condemned the recent heinous attack in Pahalgam that targeted tourists. Egypt reaffirmed its full support for India in the confrontation in all forms of violence and terrorism aimed at undermining the country's security. Both the sides have agreed to strengthen the joint efforts in combating the terrorism in all its form and manifestations. The two sides have exchanged views on the terror threats in the respective countries and regions. Both the sides have discussed ways to strengthen the areas of cooperation to counter new and emerging challenges such as the use of technology for terror purposes and financing of the terrorism, including cryptocurrencies, unmanned aerial systems, and misuse of cyberspace by terrorists for spreading terrorist propaganda. The two sides have also discussed strengthening of the multilateral cooperation in the counter-terrorism, including the United Nations, BRICS, and Global Counter Terrorism Forum at the FATF. Aditya Vadhavan stays live with me on the broadcast. Now, Aditya, India-Egypt in a joint cooperation meeting have held in fact a delegation where both the sides have agreed to strengthen the joint efforts in combating terrorism and also to look for ways to resolve the threat of terrorism in India and also across the world. What are you picking up as the big takeaways of this very crucial meeting?
Well, Simran, as there was a counter terrorism measure being taken between India and Egypt. You know, it is very at this juncture, it is very essential, to develop to counter terrorism strategies with other countries, because, terrorism has become a menace, and Pakistan being a big exporter of the terrorism, let us just put this into perspective that, India and Egypt have enjoyed good diplomatic relations in the past, and, these countermeasure steps between India and Egypt will further enhance the warfare against this terror, against the terrorism. Let us just put this into if this as far as this meeting is concerned between the Indian side and the Egyptian side, there have been advances on how to tackle terrorism through advanced technical warfare. If we talk about the use of artificial intelligence in keeping surveillance along the border of LOC, because there on the LOC on the Jammu and Kashmir there have been the Pakistani terrorists have been active. So how to develop accurate satellite imagery on the border areas? This was a key focal point during the meeting between the Indian and the Egyptian side. Yes, Simran.
All right, Aditya, with more details now.